What is the best camera for YouTube videos? You might be wondering, what camera am I using here, and should you be using the same one? I'm actually going to talk about 3 different cameras, and you might be surprised about which one I'm going to recommend. We're going to be talking about 3 different types of cameras. We're going to talk about the DSLR that I'm filming on now. We're going to be talking about GoPros. I've got a GoPro 360 here. And we're also going to be talking about my phone or the phone that you have that's in your pocket right now. So when we're talking about what's the best camera for YouTube, most of the time I'm actually going to say your phone, but I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each one so that you can make the best decision for you. One of the most important things in having a successful YouTube channel is staying consistent with your content. And it's possible that your gear could get in the way of that consistency. So sometimes, whether we have a DSLR camera and we learn all the ropes of it, but just because of its size and we don't have it with us, it prohibits us from being consistent. We're not going to film as regularly. Now, I want to talk specifically about the cameras that we have on our mobile phones. I've got 3 cameras on this one, so I can change the zoom. I can't really control the aperture and blur the background when I'm talking about video, but the quality of the picture and the automatic settings of everything are just kind of customized to make you look great. If you were to start filming with your phone, your channel would be very, very successful. It's a common belief that the better the gear we have, the more successful our channel will be. And the strategy, the content that you create and the topics and things that you talk about, that's so much more important than the gear. So while right now I'm filming on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, I had to throw the word mirrorless in there because of my videographer recommending that to me. I had to go through a big learning curve to actually learn how those cameras work. And I didn't get that type of camera because it would make my video perform better. We'll talk about those reasons in a minute. You can take your phone and you can get a tripod. I've just got a monopod here to show you, but you can get adapters like this so that now your camera's mounted on a tripod and it can be steady and stable. So whether you're filming in selfie mode and you're using it as a selfie stick to get it further away from you, or you're actually setting it down and stepping away so you don't have to hold it, that's really the consideration you want to make is, what about the tripod? What about the lights? What about the audio? How can I take care of all of those things and I can use my iPhone? So I've had my business almost 14 years, and 2 years into my business is when I got the iPhone 4S. That was in 2011. I remember it because it was the first iPhone that had an HD camera. Now, I started making videos for my company and I learned how to do the lighting and the audio and make it look and sound great. And my clients wanted me to start making videos for them that looked just as good. And I said, well, yeah, I can help you with that. I'm using my iPhone. And they said, well, as long as it looks like that, it's just fine. Now think about how far our iPhones have progressed since then. So I know that a more advanced camera would make you look more professional if people are watching you film, but in a lot of cases, they're not going to notice if you just film it on your iPhone. Okay, so what about a GoPro? Now the GoPro that I happen to have with me is a 360 camera. I'll take the caps off so you can see it's got cameras on both sides. This is fun because I can mount it somewhere, or I can even carry it around on a monopod or a selfie stick, and it's just filming everything around me. The challenge with this specific camera is there's a lot of post-production. I have to go in and control, like, what do I actually want to show? What direction do I want it to be aiming? So it makes it really easy in filming that I don't even have to look and aim it anywhere. I can just turn it on and it's recording whatever I want. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun advantage to this. It's waterproof and whatnot. Most other GoPros are even smaller than this, and it just films and it goes and it's rugged. You could film underwater. The disadvantage, though, is getting the files from here to my phone or to my computer, versus when I film on my phone, I can edit it right there. I can upload it to YouTube right there. So just know what those expectations are before you choose to go with a GoPro. If you're doing some type of project like a DIY type channel, it might be good to have a few cameras. You can use your phone and a couple cameras just to get different angles. So why then am I currently now filming on a DSLR, or technically a mirrorless camera? Why am I doing that right now? Well, a big part is because of the lens. You can do some things with the lenses on these cameras that you can't do on a phone or a GoPro. Like, notice how the background behind me is blurred? That's a real background. I mean, the lighting's gonna change, but I'm gonna walk back here. The lighting's gonna change a little bit, but I'm just knocking on the window just to show you, like, That pool out there, that's real. Those trees out there, they're real. But I'm blurring the background so that the attention can be on me, so that I'm the one that's in focus. So when you have a camera like this, lenses like this with a wide aperture allow you to do that. That's the only reason, or the original reason, why I upgraded to a DSLR camera. Now, the one that I highly recommend is the one in my hand. It's the Canon 90D, the Canon 90D. It's not the latest and greatest, but it's a staple that I go to. The body costs about $1,000. This lens, this is a 24mm, f-stop of 1.4. So you have to learn this stuff if you're gonna buy this type of camera. But an f-stop of 1.4 allows you to really blur the background. And I got a prime lens to save on cost, but still with this high quality of a lens, it's a $1,500 lens. So that if you're filming in selfie mode or you're doing a one-man band, you've got it on a tripod, but you can see yourself. You can frame yourself in the shot. You can see if it looks good. This has a touch screen. But when I talk about a learning curve for this type of a camera, you have to understand 4 things. You gotta understand color temperature. You've got to understand that f-stop, which is the aperture and how much blur or how much depth of field. You've got to understand shutter speed and ISO, which just control the amount of light that comes into the camera or how much sensitivity that sensor has. So you've got to understand all this stuff. Now there's great tutorials on YouTube. So the advantage of using your phone, all those settings are automatic. And if you're going to buy a camera like this, the funny thing is, there are actually these automatic settings. If you're gonna get this type of a camera, learn those 4 different parameters so that you can really utilize this type of camera to its fullest, and you can control how an image looks. All right, so ultimately we are talking about the best camera to use for YouTube. Hopefully you've gotten that answer, and I also wanna help you succeed on YouTube in other ways, and I wrote a book for you. I wanna give you this as my gift. This is a hero's guide to influence on YouTube. And I wrote this book basically taking you behind the scenes of all the different 50 channels that I produce that generate leads for businesses. I've made it full color so that I could actually take screenshots behind the scenes of YouTube and the analytics. And as long as you pay the printing and shipping cost, no profit to me, this book is my gift to you. Just go to natesyoutubebook.com and I'll put that link in the description as well.